Get interactive with us on Facebook. We are Joy Business. If you tweet, we are at Joy Business GH, and we are also on myjoyonline.com/business. Now, to our very first story, the Registrar General's Department says it will sanction businesses which do not re-register. The re-registration process, which began in 2011, has so far covered only 60% of businesses in the country. Assistant Registrar at the department, Elizabeth Osai, spoke to Joy Business about the situation. The registration exercise began in September 2011. It is being done in collaboration with the Ghana Revenue Authority and Ghana Community Network Services Limited and its technical partners as part of Ghana e-government project that aims at improving quality of customer records and facilitates improved service delivery. So far, about 60% of businesses have been registered in the country. Speaking at a meeting organized by Ernst & Young to help address issues between the Registrar General's Department and its clients, Assistant Registrar at the department, Elizabeth Osai, says business owners must be responsible.
Just for a long period, some companies will just register and will not come to update their records. They will not file the documents they are supposed to. They don't file their annual returns. In this electronic system, at the end of June, when the re-registration process ends, the system will begin to trigger penalties. And so if anyone is not has not been meeting what they are supposed to do at Registrar General's Department, at the point when they come by to do any other transaction, there will be the need for them to make sure that they make all those payments before we would allow them to go on with any transaction that they want to go into with Registrar General's Department.
Legal Director at Sanford World Clinics, clients of the Registrar General's Department, Osei Dixon, expressed dissatisfaction at the work done by the Registrar's Department.
I think that basically the Registrar General must undergo institutional renewal. I'm happy that they've commenced it, but they ought to do more than that. There are twin challenges that they face. One is to do with non-enforcement and then non-supervision. And so there is a whole farrago of infractions that go on a daily basis committed by companies, because the Registrar General itself hasn't got the enablement or the empowerment to go around and check and make sure that companies are doing the right thing.
Organizers of the program, Ernst & Young, are happy with the success of the event. So if you have a business and you have not re-registered, it's time to do so now. Now, more than 300 startups will benefit from a $17 million investment facility provided by a Climate Change Innovation Center established in Ghana. The center, which has been set up at the Ashesi University, will assist startups to effectively commercialize and develop innovative private sector solutions to address the effects of climate change. President of Ashesi University, Patrick Ewua, explained the center will provide critical services to create more businesses.
Climate change has for some time now become a household name, appearing significantly on the development agenda of both developing and developed countries. Invariably, climate change is noted for its threats to habitats and environments. Its impact on food security and productivity levels, as well as overall quality of life, cannot be overemphasized. However, there could be some opportunities in climate change. The Climate Change Innovation Center, which has been launched on the campus of the Ashesi University, will help turn challenges in climate change into opportunities. It will provide business advisory, financial, technical facilities, marketing access, and policy support services. The president of the university, Patrick Ewua, explains the purpose for this initiative.
The center is going to deploy approximately $17 million over the next 5 years to the effort of training and preparing entrepreneurs, giving them services, business advisory services, market research services, and also giving them proof of concept funding so that they can test their ideas and provide investment funding for the ideas that look like they're viable businesses. And so the startups that come through the CIC, the Ghana CIC, will have a range of services and investments ranging from training, business preparation to actual investment money so that they can get their businesses off the ground. We expect that the lives of over 300,000 people will be affected by this. And so in terms of job creation, we are very ambitious about what we'll do. We also think that we aim for this center to create businesses and help businesses be successful in such a way that we will offset over 600,000 tons of carbon emissions.
Present at the ceremony was the former president, John Agyekum Kufuor, who took part in a panel discussion. The practice manager, innovation and entrepreneurship from the World Bank Group, Ganesh Rasam, also highlighted the importance of such an innovation center to Ghana's economy.
It's a growing market, and the importance of the sector is that besides the whole business part of clean tech industry, you're also looking at the impact on the environment, impact on people's lives, increasing agricultural productivity, food security, so that it touches a number of really important development issues for the country.
The Ghana Climate Change Innovation Center will be supported by the governments of Denmark and the Netherlands. It will also be managed by a consortium led by Ashesi University, Ernst & Young, SNV Netherlands Development Organization, and the United Nations University Institute for National Resources in Africa.
The Deputy Minister for Power, John Jinapor, has inaugurated a task force to ensure the integrity of new meters provided by the ECG. This follows numerous complaints from consumers about what they see as outrageous electricity charges, especially for prepaid meters.
We as a ministry and its agencies have received numerous complaints from some customers about their billing structure and the amounts that they pay for the power consumed. Initially, we got ECG to do some work on that. They submitted their reports. Following that, we have the opinion that we should have a second look at the readings of the meters. We are not going into calculations or determining how the tariff was arrived at. What we want to do is to do an audit of the system, especially with the meters, to ensure that they read in conformity with the gazetted tariff. And so simply put, if ECG is to bill you, they have to do so in accordance with the PURC approved tariff. And so the Energy Commission and ECG, we've also had discussions with PURC. PURC will look at the economic issues of it in terms of the calculations, but the Energy Commission will lead the process to do an audit of some selected meters. We have received a number of complaints, and what they have to do is to do what they call parallel running with a check meter to ensure that at least the integrity of the metering system is intact. And also we'll look at the software that ECG uses to check their bills and to calculate their bills. And so we want to use this opportunity to appeal to customers and consumers and the general public to remain calm, and that we shall take whatever steps that is necessary to protect the interests of the ordinary Ghanaian, and would wish to appeal to the consumers to collaborate with the team that we have set up, which would go around to conduct this investigation.
President of Mitsubishi Testro Aikawa has announced his departure from the company, taking responsibility for the recent scandal which involved fuel mileage testing. He, however, intends to see the investigation through.
In April this year, Mitsubishi Motors admitted it had rigged fuel tests for the past 25 years. Last month, Mitsubishi admitted that several of its employees exaggerated the numbers on its fuel economy data, making several models appear to get better gas mileage than they actually do. Some of the cars with manipulated data showed fuel economy that was about 15% better than in reality. Mileage fraud breaks Japan's fuel efficiency laws. Meanwhile, the Japanese car maker has already admitted that it has been falsifying fuel efficiency tests for decades. It is unclear what penalties Mitsubishi might face because of uncertainties about the outcome of further investigations. Mitsubishi's president, Tetsuro Aikawa, took on the role as president and chief operating officer in June 2015. Before the scandal, Mitsubishi Motors was the 6th biggest car maker in Japan and number 16 worldwide. Annual car production currently stands at 1,218,853 cars. After Mitsubishi's shares price slumped by more than 50%, fellow car maker Nissan moved in to take a controlling stake in Mitsubishi.
So what's the impacts of this on Ghana? Well, development manager of CFAO distributors of Mitsubishi vehicles, Angelo Aukotan, says the affected models are not on the market in Ghana.
We have to make a small precision, okay, that the official of Mitsubishi in Japan have admitted that employees altered data to flatter mileage rates on more than 600 unit vehicles. Okay, but those vehicles are production only for Japan market, mostly for Japan market. They find no opportunities of distribution outside Japan market. So technically, African market, precisely Ghana, is not part of, does not have any of those products on their market. I mean, on our market, okay? We operate in Ghana and following all the standard of Ghana Standard Authority, okay? Meaning they do take necessary actions to check the product we are bringing in, the cars we are bringing in Ghana, to make sure that it meets Ghana requirements.
So we take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll be telling you what the Joy Business Van is all about. Don't go away. For 2 years, Benjamin Isiamamanfo has been making shoes. He quit his job as a pharmacy assistant to pursue his passion for shoes. Today, he is Chief Executive Officer of Royal Diadem Footwear Garage. Joy Business Van heads to his garage at Tabora in Accra.
Beautifully handcrafted leather footwears on display at Royal Diadem Footwear Garage.
Believe it or not, this is where all the beautiful shoes you saw are made. Hi guys.
Hi. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you. So what are you up to?
We are making a pair of shoes for a client.
30-year-old Benjamin Isiamamanfo is CEO of this startup.
I started making shoes 2 years ago after I met my boss, Samuel Anderson. He made good shoes for me to buy, and then I told him I wanted to work with him, and then he agreed to teach me, and then we started working together.
It was a tough decision to make.
Charlie decided to leave the pharmacy work and then do this one because I had the love for this one. It was a big decision for me, and then it brought pressures from all over, from family, from friends, and then we just had to sustain and then move on.
But today, Benjamin looks back with no regrets. With the little money he had and assistance from friends, he converted his Porsche into a workshop where he produces 5 handmade shoes a day. Once the shoes are done, they go on display at his boutique close by.
So which people form the core of your client base?
The average Ghanaian can buy from Royal proud item because it's affordable, handmade, authentic, and then first book. And then the high class can also buy from us because it's quality and it's made in Ghana, made to last.
Benjamin employs a lot of social media too, and his customers are happy with the work he does.
I believe in made in Ghana, you understand? I believe in Ghana, and I believe what Ghana has for its people.
I met him at a wedding with some sleek shoes, and I was like, wow, this thing is crazy. So I asked him where he bought it from, and it was like he was the one who made it. So I was really surprised with it because it's very nice.
Benjamin is inspired by Ghana's leading shoemaker, CEO of Hosman Shoes, Tony Sanaya. His plan to acquire more equipment to be able to produce more.
Okay, my immediate plans are to get some machines, import some stuff, and then get more hands to help us get the work going. Investors or like people who would want to support us can.
Are you giving yourself any timelines?
So hopefully by the end of the year there should be an improvement.
Great. What do you consider your greatest challenge right now?
My greatest challenge is the competitors around. We are hoping to match up with them.
All right, so I intend to try out some of the shoes here.
What's your shoe size?
45.
45. I have a 45 here. This will look good on you.
All right, so I'm going to try it out. Ow.
Not bad, is it? Do join us next week for another edition of The Joy Business Van.
Interesting. The Joy Business Van was brought to you by Busy, making good things happen. Now, SMEs are said to be crucial drivers for the economy and provide jobs for many. We picked up some information from the World Bank on the global statistics for SMEs, which we share with you.
Be the person who does not only have the facts, but knows what to make of them. Joy Business Knowledge, empowering.
Small and medium enterprises, SMEs, play a major role in most economies, particularly in developing countries. Formal SMEs contribute up to 45% of total employment and up to 33% of national income, GDP, in emerging economies. These numbers are significantly higher when informal SMEs are included. According to estimates, 600 million jobs will be needed in the next 15 years to absorb the growing global workforce, mainly in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. In emerging markets, most formal jobs are with SMEs, which also create 4 out of 5 new positions. However, access to finance is a key constraint to SME growth. Without it, many SMEs languish and stagnate. SMEs are less likely to be able to secure bank loans than large firms. Instead, they rely on internal or personal funds to launch and initially run their enterprises. 50% of formal SMEs don't have access to formal credit. The financing gap is even larger when micro and informal enterprises are taken into account. Overall, approximately 70% of all MSMEs in emerging markets lack access to credit. While the gap varies considerably between regions, it's particularly wide in Africa and Asia. The current credit gap for formal SMEs is estimated to be $1.2 trillion. The total credit gap for both formal and informal SMEs is as high as $2.6 trillion. A World Bank Group study suggests there are between 365 to 445 million micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, in emerging markets. 25 to 30 million are formal SMEs, and 55 to 70 million are formal micro enterprises, and 285 to 345 million are informal enterprises. Moving informal SMEs into a formal sector can have considerable advantages for the SME. For example, better access to credit and government services and to the overall economy. For example, higher tax revenues, better regulations, also providing SMEs access to finance and finding solutions to unlock sources for capital is crucial to enable this potentially dynamic sector to grow and provide the needed jobs.
Joy Business Knowledge, empowering.
Do you know how to use the internet? I mean, really know how to use the internet? Well, here are some tips for you.
Google Apps for Work and Microsoft Office 365 Suite for Business. Microsoft Office 365 and Google Apps for Work allow businesses to quickly set up business email, file storage, office applications, and other collaborative tools without the hassle of investing in servers, configurations, maintenance, and human resources. These platforms are set up in the cloud, top-notch security and maintenance. All the business needs to be up and running in a few days is to buy licenses or a subscription, register a domain, and get an internet connection. With cloud-based systems, clients can log in from any device with internet connection and have access to email and files from any part of the world.
Have you ever considered opening a business in another country? It's not just about having the necessary travel permits and going out there to start a business. There's more to it. Let's hear the Trade Minister, Ekospio Gabra, who has some very useful information.
For most Ghanaian businessmen going overseas to look for a foreign market for their goods, they don't know that they can do it right here in Ghana. In other words, it's actually much cheaper and much easier to go to the Zambian embassy or to go to the Guinean embassy and say, I would like to export my, Inku cream or my hair products to your country. Can you give me the names of 5 or 6 companies in Mali, in Zambia or Kenya with whom I could have an exchange? And it's their job as an embassy or as a high commission to supply that information to the Ghanaian business person to save them the time of flying to Senegal or any other country in the world, really, whether it's even China or India, to go and either source materials or seek export markets. So it is important for our business community to become more aware and more informed about the various privileges and services that diplomatic missions can offer them beyond simply applying for a visa and getting that visa. And as far as you are concerned, if you got a British visa, you have achieved a lot. If you got a US visa, you have achieved a lot. And yet that same US embassy, another department, not the visa or consular department, could also help you to export your shea butter or oil palm or yams or fish to wherever you want to send it to. And I hope this fair will help to improve that understanding.
Still looking at businesses or starting your own business, we've been asking you on Facebook, have you ever tried starting your own business? Share your experience with us. And we have Nate saying, I tried but never got the courage to start. How much do I start with in fear of crashing out in the first 6 months? Is the pullback for me? Oh, try again next time, Nate. Yeah, but wasn't Princess, yeah, but wasn't easy at all. One-man business is difficult to handle. Keep your comments coming in. Get interactive with us on Facebook, Joy Business, on Twitter at Joy Business GH. And for more news, go on myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Eton. I'm saying many thanks for your time. We come your way again, same time tomorrow.